back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another month, another edition here of the Enki Epic Series, Epic Pro Series number 6. Hi, your monthly dose of all things StarCraft. Here we go. We are here. We have returned, and it has been far too long. It's been far too long here since our last Pro Series. For those that are curious, this is a monthly ShowMatch series. Every single month there is a new Enki Pro Series, and this is specifically the Enki Epic Pro Series. This is a monthly ShowMatch in StarCraft Evolution, SC Evo, not necessarily in StarCraft 2. So something a little bit different, something a little bit spicy. It has been actually a while since we've covered some StarCraft Evolution, so not gonna lie, I'm a little bit out of practice. I'm a little bit out of it, not gonna lie, a little bit out of loop. I mean, there's not really much that's been going on with StarCraft Evolution. If you remember, we did discuss about how they were working on a PTR, they were working on a big patch, but they then had to kind of like scrap a lot of it because of the change, because of the patch to the base SC2 game, right? With the most recent change, with the change to Storm, with the change to Ghost, with all these changes occurring in the base game, SC Evo likewise has to take that into consideration in balancing and changing and adapting their own format as well. So because of that, when we jump into this series, it's maybe not going to be the most balanced, or maybe, I mean, there might be some glaring issues, there might not be. I mean, it is going to be a ZvT, to be fair, so I don't know if there's really going to be much that does change. ZvT didn't really change much at all, outside of the fact, of course, of Microbial Shroud, so that might be a factor. Likewise, Ghost, true, did change as well, so we'll get into it. For the time being, though, welcome to a best of 9 between Rogue and ByuN. For those who don't know what StarCraft Evolution is a mod that does bring together Brood War and SC2 as a face-off against each other. Again, in StarCraft Evolution, it's only ever Brood War versus StarCraft 2. That's also, I did just mention how the game has been adjusted, has been balanced for that purpose, but with the recent change to StarCraft 2, I mean, that means that some things might be in flux, some things might be a little bit shaky, and might be not necessarily the most balanced of things. I mean, we'll find out, we'll see if there's any glaring issues as we are jumping into game 1. Game 1 is going to be on Arkanoid. Let's go, baby, let's go. Oh, never mind. The game just crashed, baby. Oh no. Un momento. I have been having some display issues recently. Basically, I was smart and I updated my drivers. Never update your drivers. And ever since then, I have had some display issues. So have to get around to trying to fix that at some point. Whether I have to like update my drivers again or just uninstall them, then reinstall them, I'll figure it out. Smooge, papi, smooge. Yeah. But it's all good. We'll jump back in. Get into our first game. And hopefully we're able to. Hopefully. Ooh, that is not good. Hi. Huh. Well then, I cannot open the game. Yeah, it's one of those things where huh. I assume this is related to the display driver issue that I've been having, but StarCraft 2 is crashing. It is crashing. So we might not be able to cast this, at least not today, which would be a shame. Would be a shame. I could try to resolve this and I guess bring up the stream later. I guess I didn't think I'd need to. I think no. Well, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. This might even be an issue because I was casting yesterday fine. I wonder if this is an issue with StarCraft Evolution. I don't think there's been a patch since this event took place, so it should be fine. Oh boy. But that would be a shame if the replays were broken for this event. Oh, if I do this. Alright, we're gonna try one more thing. On a mass, Pappy, on a mass. Otherwise, yeah, it'd be a shame if we weren't able to cover this. Again, this is meant to be a best of 9 between Rogue and ByuN. Rogue, he's a little bit less experienced with when it comes to StarCraft Evolution, but has likewise recently been indulging. And we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will either have the remainder, or we'll actually have this series, this show match, or we might have something else. So the original plan here tonight was to cover Rogue versus ByuN in StarCraft Evolution in the Enki Epic Pro Series. But if we cannot actually make this work, then we also have another show match. We have a best of 7 between Hero and Raynor. The best of 7, the Lily Cup number 47 instead. So yeah, we'll see you soon, and hopefully everything is resolved. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon. welcome back everyone, welcome back. Whew, I do apologize for the shaky start, but we have returned here with the Enki Epic Pro Series number 6. Welcome back. This is a monthly tournament featuring StarCraft Evolution. Also a big shout out to for Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great ladder session. Welcome one and all, bienvenidos, as we are jumping into our best of 9. Unfortunately, the first game seems to have been bugged, so unfortunately we can't quite get into game 1. I can tell you the result though. ByuN did take the game 1-0, and now we can jump into game 2 onwards, hopefully without too much issue. Let's go as we are getting ready to jump into Rogue versus ByuN. Oh boy, and again, it is going to be a best of 9. Best of 9. The way this format works here is that the loser will be able to decide whether they stick with SE2 or if they switch to Brood War. If they do switch back and forth, it is up to our Zerg player to decide. Let's go. As we're going to be loading into Kion or Kione. Kion, a map that I'm very unfamiliar with. I've never cast on this map before. Okay, let's go. It's going to be first. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Kion, we have the Teal Zerg player, himself, down in the series, opting to stick with Brood War Zerg. It is Rogue. Okay. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the purple Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go, and I need a moment here. Now, I would imagine that this is a ported Brood War map. That's typically what is done in StarCraft Evolution. Let's figure out what the hell is going on. So we do have a pseudo pocket base here on the left-hand side with mineral patches that have to be worked through to gain access to this expansion. Looks like a very secure base. Yes, there is a pathway in, but oh, actually, I think I've seen this map before. Yeah. So we do have these quote-unquote mineral walls. I believe, can workers go through them, or like I can't quite recall here how this works, but there are 2 bases here bottom left and 2 bases top right as well, with pseudo walls here to delay said kind of pathway into the expansions. Looks like you can knock down these towers and actually create an opening. There's a ramp coming into that natural base as well. Heading on over here, looks like we have a very wide natural that can become even wider. Jesus, a very open natural base. Coming to a very far away third. Hold on. So we do have an entrance here on the right hand side to get into the natural. Likewise, only one. Oh, we have like a pocket third. Okay, we have like a pseudo pocket third base. So like natural into third base, only one entrance. This looks like a very secure, for the most part, really secure 3-base setup. I say for the most part. There is a Zelnaga tower here that your opponent can use to actually scout you, which is interesting. And also the bases are really spread out. So even though the bases are pretty secure, because they're very spread out, it is vulnerable to drop play. So drop play is going to be quite effective here. Multi-prong aggression, muted play, I can see that being effective as well. So there are forms of harassment that can work nicely, but when it comes to main pushes, I can see that struggling here on a Kion, especially considering, of course, the change of StarCraft Evolution, which is there is a mischance if you fight up into high ground. So this high ground, this mass amount of high ground is a massive advantage here, a massive defensive advantage to allow you to secure yourself on 3 bases. Okay, interesting. Outside of the 3-base setup, we do have some corner bases here towards the top side. I don't know if these bases will ever really come into play. We have some center expansions, some center gold bases, interesting, which are also looking to be quite abusable as they can be attacked from the other side of the cliff face. There are speed zones right outside as well to be able to harass, to be able to rotate. Interesting useless speed zones, might I add. And yeah, we even have destructible towers. We have rocks. We have more rocks. Interesting. It's an interesting map for sure. Is interesting. Jimmy. get some rest, Patty. Get some rest. Buenas noches. Meanwhile, we do have a standard opener here from Rogue. He pulls out a gas, gets more macro hatches, and is going into link speed while expanding and taking his 3rd base. So relative, I will say, a lot of expansions here. Relative greed, getting faster macro hatcheries here from the side of Rogue. Meanwhile, ByuN going for his own 3-rack stim and timing. A very strong stim timing here coming out from ByuN. We'll see if Rogue can keep up. Remember, as the Brood War Zerg player, Rogue, he has no banelings. He has no roaches. Defending against these early stim timings can be very, very difficult with purely Ling Hydra. Rogue is not droning. Jesus, Rogue is not droning. He's massing up so many Zerglings. Lair is on the way behind this. This tells us that most likely Rogue is going Ling into Spire tech, just because, remember, Hydras are hatch-based and not Lair-based. So the rush into Lair, it leans more towards Muta play, or maybe something more sinister, like by rushing into Hive, question mark, but Mutas should be the go-to. So many Lings are made. They go for the bunker. Voids are being pulled. And so far, nice use of the Voids. They do protect the Marines. And without a very nice hold here, losing 2 SCVs, Rogue falls behind. Rogue does take a massive loss early on. That was 16 Lings for 2 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. We spoke earlier just how inefficient or how difficult it is to deal with Bio here with pure Ling, and you saw it then and there. There's no use of Banelings, of course. Very nice defensive setup, and it is in fact going to be Hydra. So it's going to be Lair into Hydra then, in towards, I would imagine, Lurker tech. Otherwise, why rush into Lair so quickly? So we'll see if the plan is to get into Lurkers. Meanwhile, we have these mineral fields. Looks like they're just regular mineral fields that you can mine through. And we have a high yield gas geyser base here. It's going to be quite accessible. Buenas, my friends. Buenos dias, buenos dias. And yep, we were curious, are we going to be rushing into Lurkers? The answer is yes. So now it makes sense why we rushed into the fast lair into the gases, in towards Lurker tech. Is all lined up. And this will allow Rogue to have a defense. Meanwhile, ByuN Stim is now done, but he is waiting for the rest of his upgrades, waiting for +1, waiting for combat shields, waiting for everything else to kick in before pushing. I can see this third base being really secure as well. Like, again, it's such a narrow kind of alleyway here. Like, in general, all of these bases look really solid. And I can see Rogue having a really hard time harassing. I mentioned earlier, like, Muta play, but he's playing Lurker Hydra. So this looks like a really strong map for Terran. But we'll see. As here comes our first move outs. Lurker tech is now done. We have our double Evo chambers, and here comes the first wave of Lurkers. 3 Lurkers morphing in. We have a Spine Crawler. We have a Sunken Colony here on the high ground. ByuN is pushing. The Lurkers, they're not ready yet. And we'll see if ByuN can break that spine. We'll see if he tries to. Interesting scan. Moves up the ramp. Lurkers are getting in position. Good, he gets one. He gets one Lurker. He respects it. Gets a colony. 2 Lurkers left. Only 2, and we're dropping into the main. Thankfully, Rogue is in position. Rogue deflects. Oh, never mind. We have the unload going off. Yeah, there's the unload into the main. There are plenty of Zerglings though. ByuN will trade efficiently. Does stick around too long. Yeah, sticks around a little bit too long. Bleeds out extra Marines. And Rogue is taking up in towards the Queen's Nest, in towards Hive. As drop play does continue. Rogue, he's defending decently well with the bare minimum. He's got 4 Lurkers, 2 on the main base, 2 on the natural. Drop does catch him off guard. Lurkers have to reposition. Does he get a Lurker? He gets 1. He gets up. He gets 2. Massive pickoffs. 2 Lurkers go down. 2 Lurkers left. Nice figures here by ByuN. And we mentioned before that this is going to be the difficult thing for Rogue to keep up with is drop play. Just because of how spread out these bases are. So defending your main, your third base, your would-be 4th, it's going to be difficult. As Rogue is being spread thin. Yeah, goes for the other unload. Someone trades against the Lings. Oof. Once again, he does stick around a little bit too long here. He trades well, but he's bleeding out a lot of Marines. Jesus. Yeah, that was 6 Marines for 27. I mean, it's still really efficient is the thing. So sure, he loses 6 Marines, but he gets 27 Lings. It's perfectly fine, Bobby. So still very, very efficient trades. Yeah, I feel like on Kion, I feel like you have to go Spire, right? Like, even if you're not going Muta, even just going like Ling into Hive into Ultra with Scourge support to deny the drop play, like, it feels like drop play is just so much more powerful here on this map specifically. And without having a secure way to deny drops, It's difficult. Meanwhile, queens are on the way. We're researching spawn broodlings. Okay, let's go. The queens are amassing. Bearing in mind, for those that maybe don't watch much StarCraft Evolution, queens are a very different units here in Brood War. Meanwhile, nice trades against the Lings once again. Hydras are start stepping in. Can they get one of the medevacs? They cannot. The Bio Army does them away. Queens are slowly gathering that energy. Queens, honestly, they're quite amazing here, but before we get into the queen production or the queens and what they can do, tanks take siege up. Remember, tanks do have a mischance, but that's still going to be 4 tanks within range of the mineral line, or 3 tanks within range. So still a real position, drop into the mineral line, and Rogue, he cannot defend this. Oh, he's coming in from behind. Let's go. Actually, never mind. Going for the counter attack. He gets one. Oh no! Ooh, gets one. Gets 2. 2 full dynamics go down. Very nice. We go saved by Rogue. Very nice. And the tanks are exposed. Here comes the surround. Oh no, he just keeps going for the counter attack instead. He's going for the base trade. And while he's going up. Back at him, the tanks are a little bit exposed. Yeah, the tanks are exposed. They should be behind the wall. Yeah, so ByuN out of position. He will lose this army. That should not have happened. And Rogue is breaking in. He's breaking in. He's busting through into the natural. Rogue is racing. Sorry, ByuN is racing back home. And Rogue, he has potential here to deal critical damage. Again, ByuN, he saw the army. He saw the army. He saw the counterattack. He didn't react. And he will lose another tank. Now this will be cleaned up, and the question becomes, what are we left with here? So ByuN, he's on a 3-base economy, true, getting a 4th, getting his 4th base. He'll clean up every single Hydra. Lurkers, a rally in? Oh, that's a little bit wasteful here. As the Lurkers, they might get a tank, get a force friendly fire. Rogue, he has 0 Lurkers left. 0 Lurkers. But with the Queen support, I mean, hey, he can break through that siege line, true. Like, Rogue, he has momentum. There's a lot of potential with these queens. Scan reveals the army. Rogue, he can't make use of this ledge, unfortunately, the same way that ByuN could. So Rogue is just now getting a 4th base. But again, a late 4th out of Rogue. Late economy. Yeah, the 4th base does feel quite difficult here for the Zerg player to take. But again, like, at least if he can keep ByuN busy at home, then drop play won't be an issue, right? It won't be a problem. Queens, they can ensnare. They can spawn broodlings. Oh, boys are being pulled. And he got the queens. They get 1. Ooh, just 1. There we go. They do rotate. Another tank should be going down. Should be the queens. Happy. There we go. So some awkward control there from Rogue when it comes to the spawn broodlings. The queen's a little bit lackluster there, lacking energy actually, so a little bit mistimed, and ByuN holds. This hold is crazy. Basically, Rogue was premature. Rogue was premature. Even now, he doesn't have enough energy for spawn broodlings. It takes a lot of energy here. So Rogue was premature. He had, what, 5, 6, 7 queens? But he only got 2 spawn broodlings off and only really 1 on time. But that's something that you gain with experience, right? Like we mentioned at the start of this, that Rogue, he is more inexperienced with StarCraft Evolution. So he got a little bit too excited. He was premature. He moved in. He only had 1 spawn broodling available. And those tanks got so much more damage than they should have. Like even now, he doesn't have enough. So ByuN holds. Johnny holds on. I'm sure ByuN as well, he's like, oh, thank God. Thank God the queens had no energy back. True, true. Ensnare just got researched as well. This also looks like an oversight. It looks like Rogue was unaware that Ensnare had to be researched. In the past, you could just produce the queen and it would already have Ensnare already locked in. I see someone in the chat. Live question mark, replays question mark. If you look at the stream title, I believe it should say in the title of the Twitch stream. And the YouTube stream as well. Oh no, Enki, no. Come back to us, man. Come back to us. CC does go down, so nice snipe here from Rogue. It denies the 4th base. And this has been a very shaky game. Very shaky here for both players. ByuN being caught out of position against the counterattack. Rogue attacking pre-spawn Broodling. ByuN re-expanding, getting into Ghost production. And again, it is imperative here that Rogue maintains map control. Now he's got his high-yield gas geyser. Rogue can max out. And now with all these queens, and this time with enough energy for spawn Broodlings, he should break the siege. I say that, that's still a lot of tanks. It's going to be 7 tanks, 8 queens. A lot of this will come down to the EMPs. If the Ghosts can land their EMPs or land their snipes and deny the spawn Broodlings, then ByuN can maintain this position. We mentioned earlier as well that it does look very difficult to break a 3-basing player on this map just because of the high ground and just because of the terrain. Obviously, the queens help with that, and Rogue is just mass expanding. This is the correct thing to do. Just mass expand, take the map, and contain the Terran on 3 bases. I don't know if Rogue can stop this southern 4th base, to be honest, but ByuN is yet to attempt to take it. Which again, I feel like is just more about learning the map. Especially with Rogue opening up the top side, like top right is not a base that ByuN can maintain. He found that out the hard way. Meanwhile, Consume is being researched, getting into Defilers, perfecting his army. Oh. What's going on? Where are we headed? What's happening? Pappy. Wait, what? Where are we going? We're going for the center base. he's crazy. I was like, no, yeah, he should be fine just expanding here towards the southern side. He's going for the center base. There's no shot he ever maintains this. No shot. Like, this is illegal. Like, what, what are we doing? ByuN, you're crazy. I legit thought, like, where's he going? Nice and snares. The snares do connect. Ling Hydra started stepping in, takes over the main army, and again, this should have happened, right? Like, ByuN should never be able to maintain that center expansion. That was crazy. Ghosts were out of position. They weren't able to EMP. They were further back. So, yeah, ByuN know where he needs to be. So EMPs were a non-factor. And the command center will not burn down. Like, Pappy, we don't have to be fighting for this. What's going on? Hi. We got some decent pipes, and Snare does connect. But there's not enough support for the Hydras. Yeah, not enough support where the Lings. Ooh, brutal move command. Yeah, brutal move command there. Hydras are going down. Ultras are trickling in. The snipes do punish. Oh my god, the speed Ultras do the speed zone. These speed zones are crazy. Or I should say, these speed zones, GG gets called. These speed zones are another reason for the Terran player not to try to take the space, because you're fighting and your opponent just has like a free just road right to your army. Like, this is crazy. Oh my god. GG, well played. Rogue ties up the series 1-1. GG. Aye. But it's like it. We're all learning the maps together, including ByuN. It's fine. But GG well played with that. Was tied up 1-1, and we're getting to game 3. We're loading into Sylphid. Let's go. Pack it up, boys. We're going for a road trip. Oh no. But yeah, that was wild. That was a wild moment in a a wild setup there from ByuN. Again, I will say that he had momentum early on, but we did see that he was maybe he didn't quite respect the counterattack enough, a little bit ambitious, or maybe not entirely certain as to how to expand or way to expand. Remember, his first fourth base was top right, which was very exposed, considering that his opponent had already had already opened up that top side of the map of Kion. So top right wouldn't be taken, and we assumed he was going to take bottom left, but no, ByuN had his own plans. Crazy. Crazy back. But here we go, letting into game number 3. And also, thank you so much, Acres de Cruz. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. God. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. I do apologize for not being able to cover too much StarCraft Evolution recently, but at least we're able to jump into the Enki Epic Pro Series. And again, I don't think we just haven't really had many StarCraft Evolution tournaments as of late, except for the Chijik tournaments. Remember, there was a Prome tournament, and there was another one. It was Prome and was it Mang Russell? Prome and someone else. That is slipping my mind. Was it Ateshi? Maybe. But there were 2 other semi-pro like Korean players that did host their own events. And Chijik did help sponsor. Mang Russell, yeah, there you go. So Mang Russell had his tournament, and Prome had his tournament as well. But outside of those, and of course we had the Murloc King Chijik event, so we've actually had quite a bit of Chijik support for StarCraft Evolution recently. But I think that's all we've really had as of late, outside of this Pro Series, of course, outside of the ShowMatch. Evo ladder stream when? I might have a ladder stream later today. I don't think I'll play Evo ladder though. Like I probably won't get into that until I shake off all the rust when it comes to regular SE2 play. But I should have time tonight to ladder a little bit. Should have. Ladder's in alpha at the moment? Yeah. In the alpha. SGD wrestling not necessary. Just give away the MMR. Oh no, Smurge. I've already done that. I think last time I laddered, I think I had like a 3-month break before laddering, and I think I dropped like 400 MMR. Like it was that's crazy. Gotta get it all back. Oh, but here we go. Loading into game number 2. Sorry, no, game number 3 even. Game number 3 as we are jumping on in and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Sylphid. We have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Chopper Rebellion. Oh, and rocking Brood War Terran this time. It is a ByuN. And spawning in the top side of Sylphid, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself. We have the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. So we're tied up 1-1. Am I crazy? Does this map look a little bit different? There we go. Like visually, I mean. So now we are going to be expanding. Oh, so I mentioned this earlier. It was a couple of days ago, but I updated my drivers, and I think they like reset some of my settings in StarCraft, and it looks like I have like extra shading settings or something. Like I like this. It feels like there's maybe like a little bit more detail, a little bit more shading that I'm used to. So I'll have to try to fix that. But I think my settings were reset. Look, yeah, it does look brighter as well. Yeah, it looks brighter in some areas, and it looks like there's more shade in others. But it does look brighter for sure. God, it's like hurting my eyes looking at the rocks. Jesus. I'll try to get around to fixing those settings before the next stream. For now, we are going for our 3 ranks. There we go. Going for the early sim timing from the side of ByuN, to be expected. Meanwhile, Rogue is going very greedy here. He's going to be going for a gasless opener. A gasless opener here at Rogue. This is insane. Usually this is done when you have a really secure 3-base setup. When I say really secure, I mean it'll be easy to rotate back and forth and defend with queens. Here, I'm not so convinced that you can actually defend and protect your bases without lings and without link speed. I mean, we'll see. In regular SE2, if you're unable to do so and unable to keep up with your queens, then Hellions can dive in and roast up mineral lines and punish you. But of course, Hellions are a non-factor in StarCraft Evolution. So the pressure's going to be on ByuN to punish. We'll see if he can. Again, he's working towards a big stim timing, and Rogue should be opening up roaches. Because the gases are so delayed, because they're so late, usually you just skip link speed. You skip link speed, you go into roaches, and you get into a roach queen defense. The question becomes, how many roaches will Rogue have to defend against that stim timing? Here we go. Why Second One Zerg has SE2 creep and SE2 Zerg has SE1 creep? Oh, shout out to Caprilu Cats in the chats. I guess it's just like a visual thing, depending on the map itself. All good. So we go. Stim is halfway done. Yo, the nostalgia from hearing the guys scream. Let's go. Double scans does reveal the roach warren, does reveal the gases being taken, reveals lack of link speed as well. So ByuN is now fully aware of the build of choice of Rogue. He knows what he's up against, and again, the roaches are slowly amassing. And it does seem like Rogue should have enough to defend. Rogue has got 4 roaches currently. He will be losing some overlords, but he does see the mass bio army. He's aware. A supply block. Oh, is supply blocked. 3 overlords on the way. Now is not the time. We need roaches here and now. Here comes ByuN. Here comes ByuN. So far, 4, soon to be 8 roaches. Rogue still supply block, just now breaking out. But again, it's close, but it looks like it may still be enough. It may still be enough for Rogue to defend, as the queens should be coming together, ideally. So far, 8 roaches, soon to be 10. 10 roaches, and Rogue is droning. Very, very confident. Very confident play there by Rogue to drone up in the face of this timing. Here comes the stim. He gets 1. He gets 2. He's going to get up to 4. 4 roaches go down. There's 5 roaches left. Couple more trickle in. And Rogue got away with it. Rogue got away with it. He's getting up to full 3-way saturation. Again, very greedy build here by Rogue, but he does not get punished. As we mentioned, the way to punish this, at least in SE2, is to outposition roaches, outposition the queens, and get into mineral lines and roast them up with your Hellions. That's a non-factor here. Instead, ByuN was going for a frontal push, and that is what roaches are ideal against. So Rogue, he defends, he deflects. Rogue coming into this is in a better position. Behind this, ByuN is taking up, getting into his own bio tank. Now, thankfully, ByuN didn't lose too much of his bio. He lost 6 marines for 4 roaches. Like, okay, not the best trades he's looking for, really. Scans, sees a concave. ByuN knows he cannot push in. He will get a couple of tumors. He gets 1, he gets 3. 3 tumors. 1 of them being active. ByuN pulls away, building up more bio. Chat, have not followed the scene for some years. Like cost the CranKy tournament now. What do you mean? Do you mean Crank's his invitational tournament? We did cast that. Did cast that last week. Otherwise, I always cast one of the CranKy Ducklings. Except in the to be fair, except in the very beginning for the amateur stuff. That was like Steel Mold and like Lumia or Steel Mold and Kuro or Steel Mold and Yaku. True. But not entirely certain what you mean. That's where it does poke out. We have science vessels on the horizon. Oh, right. I forgot. We do have some new visual updates to upgrades. To the upgrade add-on. Oh, sorry, the upgrade icons. I think this is the first time I'm casting with seeing this. I think that's just +1 armor. I have to get used to the new visuals. Gotta get used to it. Been mostly away since about 2019, so I missed a lot. Ah, okay, I see. Oh, 2019. Oh, I see. As we do have a radiate being researched, but when it comes to post 2019, that's actually, well, end of 2019 is when we started casting pro games and pro StarCraft. So you missed us getting into the pro scene. True. It was end of 2019 when we casted Copa America for the first time, and we casted VTL, which was the Vietnamese team league. And now we just cast everything. Now we look, if there's some StarCraft going on, then we're casting it. Most likely. I think the only things that we don't cast are like Wardy's like his like specific events. So like, I don't know, like Wardy October or the Wardy Summer Bash, stuff like that. But unironically, we cast like maybe 80% of tournaments in StarCraft now. We think like around that. I think that's actually accurate. Like, for example, recently we casted Cellafest, we casted SC for All, we're casting RSL for the major stuff this month. Casted SSU Safe House, Home Story Cup, EWC, GSL. What didn't we cast? We casted Maestros, true. Yeah, I think it's just Wardy's tournaments. We like Wardy's TLMC tournament, Wardy Summer Bash. Like I think like the Wardy specific events that he hosts. I think that's what we don't cover. And Monday Night Weeklies. True. Monday Night Weeklies. For now, though, ByuN, he's setting up on 3 bases, turtling up as hard as he can. Rogue with the power of Vipers, as his hive is complete, he should be able to break through. So far, no spellcasters, no Vipers. Rogue, he's still a little bit lacking in that respect. He's actually going for the Spire, can start to take up in towards Broodlords. Wardy still Wardy? Yes. Nowadays, we cost more than Wardy. Fun fact: we crunched the numbers for a couple of years in a row now. We do cost the most StarCraft out of anyone else. On our channel, I should say. There are instances where Wardy does like production or observing for like EPT. Or costs on the EPT channel. Or EWC. As Rogue does commit in, you see ByuN, he does pull away some of those Marines. So far he is holding on. When it comes to how we engage here, it's going to be up to the science vessels to commit to their radiates, to try to radiate the ultras, to shut them down. That's why we have the vessels moving forward. Also why it's imperative here that Rogue starts getting his own Vipers to try to break through these siege lines. Or at least Microbial Shroud with the Infestors. We need one or the other. As ByuN is getting into 3-3. From here, moving in. What does the Radiate do? Radiate, think of it like Parasitic Bomb, except on the ground. I mean, I say on the ground, like anywhere. Like, not exclusively in the air. Speaking of, here come the Irradiates. Irradiates here on the Ultras. Irradiates on the Ravagers. Lingbane is rolling in. All of Lingbane is going to be shut down, though. Yeah, nice damage from the Irradiates. Nice Concave as well. And ByuN, he will take this fight. He shuts down the army. Ay. So again, think of Irradiate like Parasitic Bomb, except one of the big differences is that Irradiate runs out when the unit dies. If you recall, with Parasitic Bomb, after the unit dies, the bomb still persists in the air. Here, the Irradiate expires when the unit does perish. That's why, ideally, you do want to irradiate high HP units like the Ultra. So Ultras, Ravagers, units that persist, that do survive a little bit longer, and it does AoE splash damage to the units around it. That's why the Lingbane died before it was able to engage. partially because of the tanks, but also thanks to the irradiates. So this really does punish the army from clumping. Does punish. As Rogue does come into his counterattack, trying to buy some time. Strong fight here out of ByuN. And my assumption, especially with +1 range here, we'll see if Rogue does try to go into Broodlord tech or just commit into Corruptors. Regardless, anti-air will help, so we can try to zone away those science vessels. We can try to zone away. Think Parabomb versus biological units. Oh yes, true. I should also emphasize that as well, is that Parabomb is limited to being used against air-based units, so it has its own limitations. Irradiate likewise has its own limitations as well. It only does work against biological units. So there used to be like a move back in Brood War called, like, what was it, the Eraser? Where you would irradiate your own science vessel and then move the science vessel in to deal damage, right? And the science vessel will be fine because it's a mechanical unit, not biological. So again, like, irradiate doesn't really affect your mech units. So you can target your own units and then dive in. It's similar to the Hunter Secret Missile in StarCraft 2, if you recall, where you could target your own medevac and then boost the medevac in and then Secret Missile your opponent, right? Like similar in the sense that you'd use the spell on your own units to do damage. Meanwhile, Rogue going for the drop into the main. Does go for the Doom drop. So far, ByuN out of position. Bearing in mind that ByuN's army is very immobile. Lings 8 bust in. SCV's going to be going down. Ay. ByuN does try to race back home. Yeah, it does attempt to. So far, decent damage. Drops, they continue. Ultras dropping in as well. But this time we do have an irradiate. Yeah, irradiate on the Ultras. And this does distract. This does do some damage at the same time the main army pushing in. No irradiates. Yeah, no irradiates here, but nice tank volleys. Bailings go down. There's one Ultra left. ByuN holds. ByuN, he does hold on. Does lose 16 SCVs in the main base, but again, like, these are like losses that ByuN can afford. He can afford, he can maintain this. He handled this well. And took a better fight in the center. Here we go. And hopefully we see ByuN set up some turrets here in the main base. He's very vulnerable to drop play. You can see Rogue setting up for another potential drop. The drop lords are still alive. ByuN, he does retain most of his science vessels. And again, like, something that's a little bit concerning here for Rogue is that, again, this entire time he's been very heavily reliant on just brute forcing his way through. When it comes to spellcasters, he finally has 3 Vipers, finally, but still no Infestors either. So do another drop into the main. Does come in. Rogue, he gets into the mineral line. There the irradiates. Oh, the defense matrix, let's go. As the Ultras are going to be dealt with. Does hold. Lings, they wreak havoc in the mineral line, though. That's going to be 16 more SCVs going down. Drops it once again into the main. The main drop won't get much done, but the Lings here at the forward base, brutal damage. 16 SCVs. Rogue is maxed. The drops continue. And this showcases the biggest difference between Brood War Terran and SC2 Terran. Where, once again, Brood War Terran is very immobile. Again, there are no medevacs, there's no way to, like, drop in between the bases. Yes, there are drop ships, they do exist, but they're nowhere near as versatile. Nowhere near as valuable or effective. The science vessels are helping, though. Do irradiate. Down both Ultras, laying around by once again towards the top side. This time ByuN is ready for it, so this time he's in position. Nice scan. Does scan in time. We do have another Nidus. Oh. It does irradiate, but a little bit late. Negative radiation. Oh god, brutal swipes from the Ultras. But ByuN is holding. holding, cleans up all the Nidus worms. And Rogue pulls away. Now again, he has been retaining these Vipers. He still does not have a Greater Spire, so he's still just going for pure Lingbane Ultra. Still just trying to brute force his way and just force his way into one of these spaces. The big concern here is if he takes one bad fight, then ByuN can counterattack. And I don't know if there's really going to be much to stop him. Here we go, another lane drop. Another drop into the main. Irradiate on the Corruptors. Job is coming in once again for what, the 5th time? It's okay. The jobs continue, Pappy. Let's go. Guess one. There are production. Oh, there's at least a production to defend. So let's have that rally. You know, one of these days we'll get some turrets here. One of these. One of these days. Oof. As finally this is getting out of hand. Now we have the Nidus Worm. Ultras are filing in. Where are the irradiates? No. Yeah, vessels are out of position. He wasn't expecting the Nidus. And this is getting out of hand. This is now getting out of hand here. More production buildings falling. Forcing ByuN out of position. ByuN rotating back in. Does rotate in, does push towards that center base. Finally, ByuN's able to apply some pressure. At the same time, we have more Nidus worms. The Nidus, Pappy. You know what? Let's go. We have Power Bomb versus Irradiate. Bailey's crash into the tanks. The tanks extra 5. ByuN is forcing his way in. At the same time, here comes the Nidus. And ByuN is not ready for this. No Irradiate's back at home. Roki gets into the main. And ByuN turns around. Ooh, ByuN, he turns back around. He doesn't commit. Nice SimCity. And turns around, does clean up some of these ultras. I mean, these are still expensive trades here for Rogue, true. Are expensive. One base goes down. Base does full. Rogue, he's burning through his bank. He's on 90 drones, but may not be the best saturated here. Yeah, he's long distance mining. Not the best saturation. Ultra gets 1, gets 2 tanks. But Rogue, again, he's burning through that bank. ByuN is maintaining himself. And most likely, ByuN's next expansion should be this one, right? Should be expanding towards Rogue. Expanding forward. We'll see. I mean, the advantage of expanding towards the south side is to finally stop the drops. Can he finally stop them? Rogue is taking more bases. I mean, there's pros and cons, right? It's like with ByuN pushing further here into this top base, he's pushing towards the heart of the tech, right? True. But these bases also, they're not really too important. There's no mining, right? There's no mining, there's no economy here. If he were to expand towards the south side and push towards the south side as well, he can also be denying the economy of Rogue at the same time. So it depends what you value most. In. Scan reveals the southern bases. ByuN is now somewhat aware. He wasn't aware of the expansions earlier. Does explain it. Swarm host? Okay. We have Swarm host on the way for Rogue. Interesting. Vipers are coming in for the power bombs. South lane 2, lanes 3. South lane 3 power bombs. And science vessels, they will barely survive. So we did have a drop towards the top side. Link drop into the main base once again. And we did mention before that this base didn't make the most sense for ByuN to expand to next. So again, he's slowly pushing towards the bases of Rogue with his expansions. At a certain point, it might just be wise to just abandon his own main and bring his production closer to his actual expansions. As Nias runs continue, ByuN, he does notice. So do we finally irradiate the overlords? As ByuN, he does scout the expansion. It rotates. It does rotate over. Nice into the natural, but at least now he's spotted these expansions. I know it's the locust waves. Locust waves are getting out of hand. Jesus, it's a lot of tanks. It's 30 tanks. 30 tanks in total. There we go. We have an irradiate on one of the Vipers. Irradiates on the Ultras. Ling Bane is rushing in. When the Bio Army is getting caught out. Let's get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Does pull away in time. Oh no! ByuN! He was killing his own Marines. Be careful with the irradiate, Pappy. Be careful. Okay, he's trying to go for the eraser here. He's trying to irradiate the Lings. And he will be able to. Cleans up the Ling Bane. Local save once again. Takes out another expansion. And finally, ByuN dealing some economic damage. Gets 30 SC, 30 drones. 30 drones go down. ByuN, he can take down both these hatcheries and take these expansions as well. Radiates into the mineral line. He doesn't quite notice regarding the burrow. Races back. Races back to defend. Radiates on the Ultras. That's a lot of tanks falling. Yeah, there's not enough Marines. There's not enough buffer here. So many tanks go down. And is that too much? Do we have too many losses here? Tanks are bleeding out. Local saves continue. I mean, it's going to come down to the economy here. ByuN, he has potentially 2 bases to expand to. At the same time, Rogue, he doesn't really have much mining. The drones are borrowed. Irradiated on one of the drones. As you saw there, radiates if you irradiate the units. If the other units are borrowed, it doesn't quite affect them. Does not affect. Wings, they catch out more tanks. Oof, more SCVs going down. Brutal damage here. Losing another 20 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Losses that neither player can really afford here. Looking for the Swarm Host. They're rotating. Swarm Host towards the center. He wants those tanks. Tanks are exposed. Here comes a Locust Wave. Get out of here. The Unsiege. Oh my god. You lose 1. Thankfully, only 1. That could have been all 5. Gets 2. Gets 3. 3 tanks go down. Rogue is remaxing with Mass Ling Bane. Where are the science vessels? Oh, they do find the swarmers. Okay. Swarmers get found. We just irradiate everything. The massive radiate. A little bit overkill as the swarmers are clumping anyway. So a little bit overkill, but the swarmers, they finally get hunted down. 1, 2 science vessels fall. Oof. Yeah, the science vessels are exposed. Losing 3 science vessels, losing 4. 4 vessels go down. Expensive trades there for ByuN. So here comes the Ling Bane. Rushing on in, collapsing on the tanks. Forcing friendly fire. ByuN is trying to hold on. And he's pushing towards the mining bases. There's still more Ling Bane available. Does have 1 irradiate. There it is. Irradiate on the mailings. And not ideal. And Rogue, it looks like he should clean this up. Shuts down the Marines. The tanks are exposed. They're on their own. He wants them. He gets them. GG gets called. ByuN, he runs out of steam. And Rogue, he will take game number 3, taking a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Rogue, he does take a 2-1 lead here. Again, ByuN, there were some moments here that were really brutal, specifically the drop play, right? We saw, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 times Doom drops or drop alerts into the main base over and over again. Unfortunately, most of the time there wasn't anything in position. There were no turrets either, and ByuN was abusing that main base so often. Likewise, we saw that ByuN, I mean, outside of that, he was taking some better fights, taking some better trades. It took him a long time to recognize that southern bases were being taken, so it took him a long time to try to punish the economy of Rogue. Once he did realize, he did punish, he knocked down hatcheries, but took a long time for that to happen, unfortunately. Likewise, Rogue, he was being very active, very aggressive. You could argue he was being a little bit inefficient by sticking with Ling Bane Ultra for so long, but eventually it was worthwhile. Eventually, the greater economy, the greater base count was worth it. GG, well played. With that, Rogue takes a lead, and now we're jumping into game number 4, going to be loading into Pylon. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and keep up in this series. For Shopify, it is ByuN, the SC2 Terran player. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Zerg. We have the red Zerg player himself for Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Here we go. Or you can irradiate your own science vessels and lever Jenkins into a ball of fire. Yes, as we mentioned, that was called like the eraser, right? When you irradiate your own units and come in. As we were comparing that to Hunter Seeker Missile before that. Or an SC2. Another. Now we are going to be settling in, and welcome one to Pylon. Pylon is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, much more aggressive, smaller as well, shorter rush distance. Aggression is favored quite heavily, and we'll see how our players do adjust. Already we see a different opener. So we have our hatch gas pool, no crazy gasless style here out of Rogue. I mean, playing a different race. Meanwhile, ByuN going for his own standard opener as well. And we'll see if ByuN goes for a 3 racks again. We'll see if he goes for an earlier push, an earlier timing. If he gets into a 3-base all in 8 racks, which I feel like will be quite favored on this map, especially against Brood War Zerg. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Link Speed is on the way. Rogue, he does pull out of gas. Pulls out for the time being. Previously, we saw Rogue try to rush into Lurker Tech. We saw that on Kion. It was fast layer into fast lurkers. We'll see if he's willing to do that again. We'll see if he's willing to go into Aspire Tech instead. Show us what you got. Show us, papi. Show us. So far we have the second racks. We're expecting a third racks as well into that 3-rack sim timing. We saw this last time that ByuN did play ByuN or did play SE2 Terran, but this time no, it's going to be a 2-1-1 instead. Okay, you have my attention. So he's going for the 2-1-1. This will be around a 5-minute timing here with stim, 16 Marines, and 2 medevacs. A very strong stim timing here out of our Terran player, and we'll see if Rogue can prepare in time. Now Rogue, he does scout with the Overlord. Sorry, Lings, they get in. Oh, that should not have happened. They bust into the main base. They get 1 SCV, but it's not about the damage. It's about the scouting. As he gets full confirmation as to the build, as to the 2-1-1, he knows. So big scout here for Rogue. Fully aware of what's going on. Even delaying the even delays the factory. Factory is delayed. 3 SCVs go down. Mining is denied, and this is heavily delaying the timing here, giving Rogue more time, giving him more breathing room, and he's going into Hydras. Lair is on the way. Hydras looks like the same build. It looks like Lurkers. Remember, Hydra tech is hatch based, so the Lair should be to rush into Lurkers as quickly as possible. And because of all this damage, I do see Lurkers being done in time. Yeah, Lings, they collapse in. They trade. ByuN is stuck on 1 expansion. And there's that Lurker tech. As I mentioned, it's on the way. So rushing to Lurkers. And what was meant to be a strong stim timing at this point, I mean, it's kind of lost a lot of its legs. He's lost a lot of steam. And Rogue can get comfortable. He's being less greedy than the game on Kion. You can see that he's going for a delayed macro hatchery and a delayed third base. So Rogue, he's still respecting this push quite a bit from ByuN. So delayed hatcheries out of Rogue. Building up his Hydras, building up his Lurkers. And Rogue is being proactive. And again, ByuN, he should already be on the way. Like, when it comes to a standard 2-1-1, he should already be making his way across the map by now. But he's stuck at home. He can only afford 1 medevac at a time. Oh god, that is brutal. Now making a second. Heal supply blocked. And here come the Lunkers. Rogue, he's going for the kill. B for balance. This is on ByuN. Like the entire game state and everything falling apart. That was on ByuN leaving the door open. Like that's just what it came down to. Like the door was open. ByuN, he pulled a hero. He pulled a hero back. Like everything snowballed out of control. Ducklings getting into the main. Keeper goes down. Lurkers are waddling in. And Rogue commits. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. Tanks exposed. Lurker shots they pop up. And Rogue will break the natural. Takes down the tank. Once again containing ByuN on 1 base. It does contain. Again, ByuN is going to have to tighten up coming into the rest of these games in the series. We got to tighten up back. Lurker shots are popping up. ByuN, he will eventually break out. So nice spread. Gets one of the Lurkers. 1 Lurker left. Now, something that's really helping ByuN here, this is a 2-base all-in. We did mention Rogue, he never got a macro hatch, and he never got a 3rd base. He totally could, by the way. Like, he can just expand and drone. He's choosing not to. So, suddenly Rogue not killing ByuN here and Rogue not containing ByuN on one base any longer. ByuN is still in this game. He's still very much so in this game. I mentioned earlier that that ByuN's predicament here was on ByuN. That is true. Now I can say the same for Rogue. As Rogue, he put himself all in. He forced himself all in. And the all-in has failed. And now we have a back and forth. ByuN goes for his drops. Rogue, he's now taking the third base. This is a very late third base for Rogue. It may even be worth double expanding at this point. So we're getting messy. We're getting messy. Both players getting uncomfortable in their own ways. Rogue rushing into the Queen's Nest. Going double Evo chamber without even 2-base saturation. Rogue, I don't think he can even afford this. Like, what the hell? He's being so tech heavy here without even being on 2-base saturation. This is quite greedy. This is very greedy here from Rogue. And if ByuN stays at home, then Rogue will get away with it. We'll see if ByuN moves out. Drop pulls away. Yep, ByuN is pushing. Good call. And again, Rogue investing into double Evo chambers, double upgrades, Queen's Nest, gases as well. Investing so heavily here on his tech, and that's not going to help in the defense. Rogue, he's in danger. He's moving in. He will kill the expansion. ByuN could be more assertive with his tanks. He's being very careful, very tentative. This is giving Rogue more time. There we go. Lurkers will fall. At the same time, Rogue goes to the counterattack. The wall is open. Nice kiting though. Nice kiting here against the Lings. Tank volley's going off, but the CC, that's a kill, not a cancel. CC goes down. The boys are being pulled into Lurkers. Oh my god. They will defend though. Yeah, Lurker shots on the Marines, not on the SCVs. ByuN holds. ByuN, he holds well. He defends. Rogue, he's in a rough position here, stuck on 2 bases. Rogue has a worse economy. He's up in drones but not mining efficiently. I mean, factor in mules, of course. Tanks are sieging. A little late to siege. Yeah, but they shut down the Hydras. Every Hydra goes down. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 4, tying up the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Rogue. He had an amazing start, by the way. He had an amazing start at killing SCVs, killing Marines, containing ByuN on 1 base, and shutting down the 2-1-1 completely. Like, that was the most perfect start you can have for Rogue. But again, he chose not to get a 3rd base. He chose not to drone. He chose to commit to an all-in, which means denying the natural isn't good enough. That was not good enough. He had to do more than that. He had to kill ByuN and break the main. And he couldn't. He could not break the main base. He could not push up that ramp. Not with Ling, Hydra, Lurker. Now, as a result, Rogue, he did fall behind. He did fall behind. Not just that, but it also does fall on Rogue for being so greedy in the aftermath of that as well. Getting the Queen's Nest, double Evo chambers, double upgrades, investing into the gases, and before droning even. Hyper greed there out of Rogue in the aftermath, and he was punished for it. GG. You can also argue that like Rogue was going to die anyway, so he probably thought to himself, you know what? If ByuN is passive, may as well give myself a chance. Which would have worked. Like if ByuN didn't push, if he decided to be more passive and defensive, then Rogue could have recovered in that game, as opposed to not taking those risks and just dying anyway. There we go. Here we go. We're loading into our next game. We're going to be loading into Andromeda for game number 5. Here we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Andromeda, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran, the Brood War Terran even, representing Shopify. It is a ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg, the SC2 Zerg player representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Hope he's not gonna start building Broodlords before 3rd base is saturated. Crazy, that'd be crazy. But again, I think that he was taking those risks and cutting those corners because he believed that he was going to die anyway, so may as well take a chance and hope that if ByuN were to be more defensive and passive, then he could get away with murder. Took a risk, happy. And here we go. Welcome to Andromeda. Andromeda is one of the TLMC 21 maps. This is an interesting map. It's very aggressive. It's a hyper-aggressive map. The rush distance from third base to triangular third base is very short. Very short. And aggression is favored. There are very few ways to try to slow down and stop said pushes from getting across the map as well in regards to high ground points of elevation. So something like an 8-Rax can hit quite hard. But in StarCraft Evolution, we'll see how that translates. Let's go. As ByuN is going for his 3-Rax stim timing. So he's got 1, 2. We should be seeing a 3rd Rax alongside the Academy and stim. And we'll see if Rogue expands towards the top side or towards his opponent. It does expand on the right. Oh boy. This is going to be a more difficult base to defend, but does expand towards ByuN. Okay. No, he's doing it again. Okay, we are going gasless. So just like we saw in Sylphid is going for a gasless opener, is going hatch pool into hatchery here. So very greedy build by Rogue. Once again, just to reiterate, this build is viable in SE2, but only on specific maps. On maps where you can easily wall up and wall off and defend with only queens. Here, but that's only because it's so difficult to keep up with Hellions without speedlings. Here, Hellions are a non-factor. We're going for a stim timing, and just like on Sylphid, it's going to be on Rogue to build up just barely enough roaches to defend against that stim timing, to deflect, and to get away with his build. And we saw that Rogue was able to barely pull it off on Sylphid. Here, I would say the rush distance background, I think it's a little bit shorter, so there's a little bit less room for error for Rogue. So ByuN could maybe pull this off. We'll see. I'm getting ahead of myself. Where's the Academy? We have our 3. There we go. Okay, Academy's on the way. It feels a little bit off timing just because ByuN had 200 gas. Am I crazy? Like, I feel like this Academy is late. So yeah, late Academy here. ByuN does slip up a little bit, and as a result, Rogue, I think he's gonna be fine. Let's see. Medics are on the way. Sorry, medics are on the way. Roach Warren is almost done. And if you recall, I believe Rogi was able to defend with, was it 5 roaches? It was 5 roaches and like a reinforcing extra 4 roaches on the way. So 9 in total. Double scan, spots the build, is now aware of the roaches, is aware of the gasless opener. And we'll see what ByuN can get done. Here come the first wave of 4 roaches. Here come the first 4. And we should be seeing 1 extra wave behind this as well. Oh, Rogue is being greedy. He's droning. Okay, so instead of defending with 9, he's going to try to defend with 4. 4 roaches, 2 queens. He's squeezing out a couple of extra roaches here. So again, this is a very greedy setup here from Rogue. It is close. ByuN stims in. No, 10 seconds away. No, I mean, we spoke about it, right? The Academy was late. Like, we spoke about that. Academy was late. This gives time for the roaches to pop out. ByuN sims in, gets 2. Gets 2, gets 3 roaches. And Rogue defends. Yeah, Rogue, he does defend. He will shut this down. And Rogue, he does get away with his greed. He does get away with his extra droning as well. So a cleaner start here by Rogue. And yeah, it does feel like this gasless opener is just so much more viable against Brood War Terran. Like, it just feels that way, of course. I mean, I say that technically, if ByuN was playing mech, and if he was opening up Vulture, that would be a way to punish this, for sure. Yeah, true. like we keep speaking about how do you punish this in SE2? It's with Hellion Harass. The equivalent of that in Brood War would be Vulture Harass. Of course, the downside is you'd have to blindly assume that Rogue was going to be going gasless to punish him. So we'll see if at any point ByuN does decide to mix it up and open up mech and go into vultures. Obviously not this game, but like in a future game. Remember, it's Semester 9, plenty of games. Plenty of time to adapt. Go double infestation pit, let's go. We got the double pit on the way. This should be Roach Ravager into Infestor into Ultras with Hive Tech. That should be the plan here. Yep, there it is. Hive is on the way. This is the standard follow-up after you open up Roaches. So you go Roaches into Hive into Ultras. The downside here is that the Ultra upgrade is going to be delayed because plus on melee is delayed because you're getting to plus on range. But there should just be plus on range and a plus on melee. He just cancels anyway. Doesn't even let it finish. And again, the big power spike for Rogue is going to be his Ultras. That's going to be the big power spike. We'll see if ByuN can try to kill him, if not stop him from getting there. Okay, stop from taking up into Ultras. For now, poking out. ByuN, he does fan out. Fans out to engage. Oh! Wow, Zone away. Zone. Here comes Link Speed. Ultra Cameron's on the way. We spoke about it. This is the big power spike for Rogue is Ultras. Can he get there? If he can gain map control, he can shut down any kind of aggression and contain ByuN on his 3 bases. Getting a 4th base on this map is very difficult. Very difficult. And Rogue, ByuN, he failed to end the game early. So ByuN's going to be in a rough position here. Again, the 4th base is just so open. If ByuN had momentum, he would expand forward, but he doesn't. Yo, No Shot Andromeda is a part of like the tournament map pool for StarCraft Evolution, right? Like, no shot. I mean, we haven't seen any SE tournaments yet, so we don't know what maps are being used. This might just be for Enki's event. True. As Rogue is mass expanding. Again, for ByuN, it's going to be a big challenge here to expand, and he's working on it. We do have the 4th CC on the way. Looks like he might go for the low ground CC instead. SEL's working on the map. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like, it makes sense, especially because... Oh, no. The SE2 map pool is about to be updated, so, like, that's going to impact what the StarCraft Evolution map pool is going to be. That's going to be in a couple of days. I'm looking forward to which Brood War maps get added though, for sure. As always, like that's always the most exciting part. Is which ported Brood War maps become a part of it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to cast on Arkanoid for this tournament. Unfortunately. No Arkanoid. Yo, we bringing back Paradox, so we bring back Paradox, pappy. True. As the Ultras have arrived, we see ByuN getting ready for his expand. Does go for the linear 4th base. Rogue coming in from behind, throwing away his roaches. We'll get maybe 2 tanks. Oh. Ooh, just one. Just one. Ah, that gets a second. Okay, second tank goes down. Can we get a third tank? Oh no! He can! 3 tanks go down. Lings, they flood into the bases. They flood into the main. They get into the mineral line. Meanwhile, ByuN is pushing. Now, on the one hand, ByuN, yes, he has struggled to expand. That is true, but ByuN the entire time has been turtling and massing up a death bull of an army. So, even though ByuN's economy is lackluster, his main army can still win the game. And thanks to the short rush distance, he can push in and try to threaten the bases, the third base of Rogue. So, where are we headed? It's a very blocky eBay. Let's go. ByuN is rotating over towards the top side. In doing so, he will protect his 4th. Vipers are coming in. Show us those blinding clouds. Gets 1. Gets 2. There's the defense matrix. Power bomb here on the science vessels. Another blinding cloud. Oh my god, but brutal tank shots. As once again, Ling Ultra does slip by. Ultra chases. Ultra's a chase down the bio. Massive swipes going up. Lings, they peel up into the main. And the run-bys continue. Run-bys do continue. Getting 7 SCV kills. The wall is going to be broken. And ByuN is committing it. Oh, he gets 1 Viper. Not bad. Gets 1. That shouldn't have happened. Go for the defense matrix. We do land a power bomb. Gets a blinding cloud. Oh jeez, the swipes are so brutal though. The ultras, they once again pop up. Insane hits. I mean, hey, they have all the armor upgrades. And they give chase. They give chase to shut down the Marines. Marines do fall again. Where the science vessels that are around for any irradiates. And radiate was never researched? No shot. No, I was curious. We have 1 science vessel, but no irradiates back. Without irradiates, there's no answer. There's no answer to the ultras. Rogue, he's done it. He snowballs out of control. Rushing across. ByuN, he never did saturate the 4th base, which to be expected. And GG gets called. Rogue, he does take the lead in the series, 3-2. Whew, GG. Does take a lead. Again, just a really rough map for ByuN. Winding it back, again, he was just stuck on 3 bases. He did max out, but he maxed out with a subpar army. He had no irradiate. He did have some science vessels, but no irradiate to make use of. Specifically against ultras, that is a requirement that is necessary to help deal with said ultras, and that was a non-factor. So with that, Rogue got a lot more comfortable here, just taking the entire map, containing the Terran player on 3 bases, and just punishing whenever he did attempt to move out. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into our next game. Going to be loading into Radon, a map that I don't think I've casted on, unless it's the I don't think I've casted on. Sorry, Radion, I meant to say. Don't think I've experienced this map before. I'm ready. I'm excited. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Radion, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Brood War Zerg representing Team Falcons, leading the series 3-2. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of this 4-player spawn map, we have the SC2 Terran player, the StarCraft Terran, the purple Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And there's a lot to really take in. Let's go. Okay, first things first. We have our main base, which is a little bit more large, just a little bit more open. Can be susceptible, of course, to drop play, to Nidus play as well. We saw that previously in this series. That's going to be in the back of my mind as a factor for Rogue. I mean, sorry, I should say that was for SC2 Zerg, so Brutal Zerg is less mobile, so less to worry about. The natural base looking quite secure as well. That leads into what looks to be almost an island expansion here. This actually reminds me a little bit of Troy, a little bit. There are rocks here that can be opened up, but as you can see, unlike on Troy, you cannot fully wall this area off. That's quite a wide ramp actually, so a relatively accessible center base. We have the base on the right hand side. This is something that's a little bit more unique to Brood War. This kind of terrain, this kind of setup. where there's a very wide or very large kind of pathway to the third base. We see this a lot. We see this a lot in Brood War maps. So we have our triangular third that we expand towards your opponents. There is this area in between the third and natural that can be abused with run-bys and counterattacks. It's very wide as well, very wide. There's no ramp, which I feel like is standard. Like in typical SC2 maps, like I'm thinking of Eternal Empire, I'm thinking of, what else am I thinking of? The one that's underwater, Abyssal Reef as well. Usually if you have a layout like this, we do have high ground in between the bases, and there's usually like a ramp here and a high ground to defend against any kind of aggression. That is not the case in a lot of Brood War maps. Sometimes this is on the low ground as well, true, like like on what was it, Return to the King? That's a crazy map, by the way. Like I still can't get over Return to the King. It was wild. Like imagine this, except this pathway is on the low ground and there's high ground next to all of this, so you can just like siege up tanks and attack transferring workers. It was crazy. It's out of this world. Otherwise we do have our center Zelnaga towers. So center towers, there's actually not a lot of elevation, period. There are some side blockers, which is nice. But yeah, again, when it comes to Brood War maps, I usually expect like a bunch of like random points of elevation, just because high ground is so crucial and so important in Brood War. So a little bit surprised just how flat it is. Very flat in the center. Of course, the side blockers do help a little bit. Wait, is there any elevation at all outside of the main, I guess? And I guess this center base. True. Interesting. Meanwhile, Roki does take his expansion. Checking the vision here, Roki has found his opponents. We do see a 2-on-1 once again out of ByuN, and he has not scouted at all. So no SCV scouts. We do see that Roki could be bottom left, top right, or top left. Any spawn location is possible here, and it's going to be up to ByuN to confirm which one it is. And this time his 2-on-1 is untouched. Remember, we were discussing ByuN's build on Pylon and how ByuN did mess up, right? ByuN, unfortunately his wall was open, the Ling run by just snowballed out of control, and ByuN had a very shaky start to Pylon. He did recover, did win the game, thanks to Rogue committing to a 2-base all-in, more so than ByuN having a secure early game. Like, it was a very shaky early game on Pylon. Here he has more breathing room. Here he can get into his 2-1-1 crisply on time. So Stim is finishing, add-on swap into Medivacs that he can move out across the map and get into his game. So now we can actually see ByuN's build that we saw in Pylon actually come into play. So here we go. There's the add-on swap, Medivacs are coming, and ByuN is dropping. It did not last that long in the pool, but Light was scarred for like I have had nightmares about Return to the King. Nightmares, man. It's just I was just flabbergasted by the idea of how that ever made it into any kind of tournament competitive play. The idea of the path to your third base being low ground is crazy. I remember, I think Avex was in the chat at the time when we first saw it, and it was like, mate, you ain't seen nothing yet. Like, there were some crazy Brood War maps out there. Yes, I'll never forget about Return to the King. Never forget. Meanwhile, double jump to the main base. Hydra's trying to keep up. The unload that will complete. Yeah, it does finish the unload. Sims in. That's going to be 3, 4, 5 Hydras going down. Can we get 6? We can. Where are the Zerglings, by the way? No Lings. Boys are being pulled. This may just end the game. GG gets called. Rogue had nothing to defend. And ByuN, he will take the game and tie up the series 3-3. GG. Whew, GG, well played. We spoke more about the map than the game itself. ByuN, 2-1-1. Just standard 2-1-1 timing. He pushed towards the top right. We saw that Rogue, he had no Lings. He had 0 Zerglings. He was rushing into Hydras. So Rogue was being greedy. It was being greedy, rushing into Hydras. Hydras, they are not a solid core unit. They are supportive units. When it comes to Brood War, they are a supportive unit more than anything. So to try to go pure Hydra to defend against a 2-1-1, I mean, GG. GG. The Hydras, they do nothing. They are nothing. And with that, ByuN ties it up. Let's go. Let us go. We have a back and forth. A little bit lackluster. I was hoping we could experience Radion a little bit. I was hoping we could get into the game and get into the mid game, but That was Rogue being greedy. I also should emphasize that Rogue, he didn't scout. He did see the position of ByuN, but he didn't go into the main, so he didn't scout the 2-on-1. So that also adds to Rogue being woefully underprepared for that build, for the stim timing. Here we go. Here we go. We're jumping to game number 7. We're loading into Subsequence. Okay, was this a TLMC map? I've seen this map before. Okay. As spawning in the right-hand corner of Subsequence, we have the Brood War Terran player. With the Brood War Terran himself, we have the South Korean Terran tying up the series 3-3. It is ByuN. Old TLMC. Yeah. I remember this. I remember the layout specifically. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. The SC2 Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Rogue. This is Sequencer, but smaller, by the one and only -0. Let's go. Let's have a look here. So, oh, we have a pocket natural? Jesus, this does look like an older map. So we have our main base coming into our secure natural. The entrance here is a little bit wide. True, it's a little bit wider. Looks like there are tank positions here that can get within range of the gas geysers. Meanwhile, this base on the left-hand side is very secure, so very secure expansion. But where are we going? No shot we're scouting for proxies. I guess we are? Huh. Oh, we're going gasless. That's why. Okay, yeah, makes sense. So, scouting like this for proxies is very abnormal, but Rogue is going gasless again, right? He's going hatch, pool, into hatchery, skipping gases, going into queen defense, and going into roaches. So checking for something like proxies is mandatory here to make sure you're safe to pull into gas to get roach production up and running. Otherwise, you'll have no gas, otherwise you'll just die. Meanwhile, ByuN is going for an interesting setup here on the low ground. Does go for the low ground racks. There we go. It's going to be a 3-rack stim timing once again. Still no mech, still no double factory Vulture. I'm a little bit disappointed. I do think that Vulture play is a good way to punish Rogue, but not on this map. Because of the pocket base, this is a very strong map for gasless styles. Why is that? Because once you set up your natural, you can set up your Eva Chamber wall, Eva Chamber, Roach Horn, Eva Chamber, Queen. And how do you ever harass the third? You don't. You can defend with purely queens and a wall, and you'll be fine. So even in SE2, like in vanilla SE2, like gasless openers are very viable on this map. You're looking for maps like this, right? You're looking for maps that only have like one main attack path, because then you can defend easily with the bare minimum of queens. Bare minimum of SimCity queens, I should say. So Rogue should be feeling very secure. ByuN is going into a stim timing. There we go. This time we have the academy on time. Last game, if you remember, the academy didn't actually begin until after the 3rd rack's finished. It was really odd. It was yeah, it was kind of an odd setup that ByuN had previously on Andromeda, if you recall. But here we go. Here we go. Stim has begun. Building up our armies. Alright, when it comes to some of the other features, I've only looked at the initial 3 bases. The 4th base here is a little bit more exposed. Yeah, it is more exposed. You can harass and attack from the right, top side, and left side as well. So a very open linear 4th base. On the left hand side, this base is more secure. There is this area here in between the bases which can be abused. This is true, like this area here, but there's only 2 places to defend. You defend here outside the natural, here in between the bases, and then you position an army here, but not even, because there are rocks, right? These rocks make this expansion so easy to defend. Yes, there is a harassing path here, but only really for drop play and harass. Like main pushes, main army should not be pushing from this left hand side, as they will corner themselves. So the initial 4 base setup is pretty solid here. The 5th base is more open. The 5th base is more spread out, for sure. If we go that far. If we go that long. Meanwhile, we have our initial 5 roaches. Sorry, we're getting up to 10 already. Okay. Here comes ByuN's push. Stim is done in 5 seconds. But Rogue is fine. As you mentioned, like, Rogue is perfectly fine, especially on this map. Especially on Subsequence. just because of how secure your third base is. Again, there's only one angle of attack. One roach goes down. A very nice attack here from Rogue, and ByuN is going to be forced all the way back. Oh, likewise, I can actually see roach all-ins hitting quite hard on this map as well. I mean, there's no ramp here. You can break down these rocks, attack from a different side. I can see potential. For now, though, we're backing off, we're droning, lair is on the way, Evo chamber as well. Once again, just like we mentioned previously, the goal, the big power spike, should be for Rogue to go in towards lair tech, in towards double upgrades, in towards infestation bit, in towards ultras. Like ultras, that's going to be the big power spike for Rogue. That's his end goal, his win condition. That should be the case at least. Only one Evo chamber, there we go. Second Evo chamber is on the way. ByuN is being active. He rotates over towards the right hand side. So far as keeping up. Are those rocks breakable? I'm not too certain which rocks you mean. These rocks here are breakable. These rocks here are breakable. These rocks here are breakable. Or destructible. So we have our 1-1 upgrades. There's the infestation bit. Again, that's for Hive. That's for the ultras. Once again, Rogue, if he feels safe, he might cancel range and just start plus on melee. So we'll see how greedy he feels. Oh, Jesus, we just pulled the boys. Okay, 2 base all in. Oh my god. ByuN catching me off guard here. I do like this actually. We spoke about it. Rogue, he's taking up into Hive. He's getting ready for Ultra Tech. And Rogue, can he survive? Can he defend against this? Let's take it slow. Take it slow, Rogue. Poke in, get some SCVs, pull away, get some piles off. Time is on Rogue's side. The longer this goes on, the better it is for the Zerg player. No bathing speed. Try to skim it in. Bailings, they will not connect. They shouldn't connect. And ByuN breaks through. Yeah, ByuN is breaking through. ByuN, it looks like he'll break down the Bailey nest, pushing into the natural. And again, before Rogue can get into his Hive, before he can get into his ultras, ByuN is here to stop him. ByuN is here to end the game. He's here to end it. Files, they do connect. Files are connecting. Drones, they come in for the surround. But ByuN should hold the line here. Ooh, he will lose one of those tanks. Stims in. There's one tank left. One tank left. Rogi's holding on. Wow, he's barely holding on. Takes down the final tank. And without tanks, there's no backbone to the army. There's no backbone. Ooh, Rogue pushing into tank range. Let's push in. GG gets called. He shuts down the all-in. And Rogue, he will take a game at number 7. GG. Whew, GG, well played. I'm not opposed to going for the all-in, I'll be honest. I'm not opposed to it. Like, this style that Rogue is going for is very greedy, but I mean, I say greedy. He's like, the tech is quite greedy, but he still does invest into his Roach Ravager. He still invests into 1-1. Like, he still has a robust army to keep him safe, and did keep him safe. Did keep him safe there in the end. He was able to buy enough time, engage. The Bailings weren't connecting, but he was able to trade enough against the Marines, and more importantly, get the surround. The boys were pulled. He pulled his own boys, got on top of the tanks, surrounds the army. GG. GG, well played. With that, Rogue, he does take a lead in this series, and the pressure is now on ByuN. Remember, best of 9, first to 5. First to 5, Rogue is 1 game away from claiming the series. As we are loading into Vermeer. Let's go. Here we go. One of the older SE Evo maps. One of the older maps. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of this 4-player spawn map Vermeer, we have the Brood War Zerg player. The Brood War Zerg representing Team Falcons, leading the series 4-3. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the SE2 Terran, we have the purple Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. Here we go. As ByuN did risk it all in that all-in. Did risk it all, did pull the boys. Again, barely did not have enough. Barely not. And now the pressure is on. Welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is one of those maps we've seen plenty of times here. This is something that I was expecting to see on Radion, and that is these cliff faces, or I should see these ramps. We do have these center ramps here in each corner or each quadrant of the map. So we have some high ground, some points of elevation. Likewise, we have some side blockers around as well, just to vary up the center. I'd say this map has kind of become one of the more quote-unquote standard maps in SE Evo. One of the more. And I'm hoping that we can embrace a longer and later game. Hoping. These past couple games have been very short, right? We had ByuN just showing up and ending the game with a 2-on-1 timing. We had Rogue just showing up and shutting down that. Sorry, we had ByuN showing up with his 2-base all and also failing with that as well. Like, it's been some shorter games recently. Hope we can settle in. As Rogue does scout bottom left. Does confirm that ByuN is not here. And he will confirm with his second Overlord. As ByuN once again is going for a 3-racks. So 3-rack sim timing out of ByuN. And this can trade very well. Rogue rushing into a lair before Ling Speed. Okay, this is Hyper Greed. 2-base Muta? Jesus. So insane greed here out of Rogue. Just skips Ling Speed, rushes into the lair instead. It takes a second Gas Geyser. Now, does Rogue just die to the sim timing? No shot. Jesus. Bold move out of Rogue. Overlord does confirm the factory that's on the way. It is going to be no 3x, sorry, it's going to be a 2-on-1. I'm pretty sure 2-on-1s are meant to hard counter 2-base Muta. At least in SE2. Oh boy. Alright, show us the Spire. Lair is soon to finish. Dread moves out. Yep, 2-base Muta. Hyper Greed out of Rogue. He's going to defend with Hopes and Dreams. Is what. God. Okay, let's go. Now in SE2, this is just a build order win. We've seen many a player attempt to go 2-base Muta and just die to 2-on-1s. So I'm a little bit concerned this is going to be a short game again. A little bit concerned. In SE2, at least you have Banelings and Queens to defend early on. Here in Brood War, you got a colony and some Lings. Oh boy. Reaper goes in. Reaper confirms. He sees the lair. He does not scout the Spire, but seeing the lair, seeing the gases being taken as well, that's a tell, right? That's a big tell already. Now, technically, we have seen Rogue go into 2-base Lurker before. Like, that did occur on Pylon, if you remember. So that might be in the back of ByuN's mind. Might be. Here come the Mutas. Seven Mutas. We'll see if Rogue can pull off a miracle defense. Like, I'm very disillusioned with this. Like, I mean, he can counterattack, and I mean, there's a chance that he can maybe catch the Medivacs. But here comes the unload. Yeah, now he confirms the muta play. He's moving out across the map. ByuN doesn't need to turn around. What do we have? We have 1 colony. We have 11 lings, 7 mutas. The colony's not going to be a part of this. Marines are unload, and they should kill everything. They should just stim and win. Mutas are going down. Lings are going down. And yeah, it's just a build order win. Like, it's just... like, as we mentioned, it's like, this is a build order win in SC2. I'm pretty sure it's the case against Brood or Zerg as well. It's like, yeah, it is. As he denies any kind of mining. Lings, they collapse in. Does focus down 2 more mutas. And Rogue, he will hold on. He will defend his natural. True. Does hold on. Does defend. And what did we trade here? We lost 5 mutas, 22 lings. He got the Hydrogen. Oh god, that's true. The Hydrogen got sniped. 3 drones. That was 2 medevacs worth of Marines. Oh boy. So we got a lot of work to do. Rogue's got a lot of work to do here. And we'll see what he can get done. What's a little bit concerning is that Rogue isn't droning. Rogue, he's not droning up. He's making nothing but lings. I mean, he did just take critical damage, so he might just believe it's not worth droning, because if he were to try to macro, he'd just die. So the goal here, I think, is that ByuN's gonna push, and because Rogue is being all in himself, his goal is to win 1 big fight. Win 1 big fight, then counterattack immediately. It's a Hail Mary play here for Rogue. Just Hail Mary play. 0 drones. Just making as much army as he can. He spots the army pushing out. And Rogue is, he's just hoping everything here, putting everything into 1 big fight. 1 big engage. Muta gets picked up. And this is it. This is Rogue's moment. It all comes down to this, back. We got 31 lings, 15 mutas. Comes in for the full surround. Nice kiting here by ByuN. Does kite away. The lings, they get one of the tanks. And it looks like Roki will clean this up. Gets both tanks, cleans up all the Marines. Roki does hold, he does defend. And now it's time to counterattack. It's time to counterattack. Oof. Oh, he gets 2 drones. One drone kill. Back at home, we have a 3rd TC on the way for ByuN. ByuN, he has the greater economy. Rogue, now he starts to drone up. These drones are late, but he's droning. Now, if Rogue can contain, if he can contain ByuN and saturate his 3rd base, yo, that's a lot of mutas. Jesus. Mutas, they can't take the fight. Cleans up all the Marines. Things they flood in. They do run into the tanks, though. ByuN holds. ByuN holds on, but the muta count is getting a little bit out of hand. Right, 15 is going to be 17 mutas. It's going to be 20. That's one of the tanks. We'll not get the other. But the CC is exposed. I'd want to see Rogue droning up behind this. Like, his droning, it's still lackluster. Still very lackluster. He's making 16 lings. He's like, Pappy, we can just saturate the 3rd and get a 4th and get macro. It's possible. Oh. Speaking of, a bit of a misrally. Drones are racing back. We're getting messy. We're getting messy back. Yeah, not the best trade here for the mutas. But he's building up more lings. The same deal here. Just like last time, Rogue, he's cutting worker production, he's cutting his economy in favor of 1 big fight. It worked once already. Oof. Thor shot goes off. The problem here is that Rogue, I mean, there's no need for ByuN to push. Rogue, he commits in. Legs are going down. Thor shots are brutal. Oh god, there's no magic boxing. The Thor pops off. The mutas were clumped. And ByuN takes a very powerful fight here. Snowball's out of control. He keeps on pushing. That was 12 mutas going down for 13 Marines. 45 links as well. And ByuN, he's done it. ByuN, at this point, he's done it. He stems in. Thor volley's going up. Oof. Okay, better spread with the mutas this time. Does spread, but the mutas, they all still go down. GG gets called. Mass Marine breaks through, and we are going to the ace match. Rogue saying Imba. And ByuN's laughing. And GG gets called. ByuN, he will take the game. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, it was a really bold move for Rogue to go 2-base muta. To be fair, like, he wasn't fully aware of the 2-on-1 when he made the decision. I want to say that you can probably reactively... Can you reactively go into Hydra Lurker from there against 2-on-1? I'm not so sure. Like, it was just a really rough position. Really rough position there for Rogue. To already be investing into the lair when he scouts and confirms that it was a second Rax, right? So it's just a really difficult position to be in. We saw that the 2-on-1 hits killed the Hydrogen, shut down the Lings, caught a bunch of mutas, and did cripple the economy as well. From there, I will say that Rogue had a really nice fight. If you remember, we spoke about how he intentionally stopped droning, built up a massive army in hopes of taking and winning one big fight and then counterattacking. He was able to win the fight, but he wasn't really able to counterattack, right? He wasn't able to do anything across the map. ByuN, he defended on 2 bases, got his 3rd, and then just ended the game from there. So it was really cool to see Rogue make a game out of that despite the really rough opener, but the writing was on the wall, and he was more or less hoping for ByuN to make some mistakes and overextend, and GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match. We're loading into White Rabbit. Let's go. Exclamation mark bunny cam. One day we'll fix the bunny cam. One day. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the... we have the Brood War Terran player. The Brood War Terran, we have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. One day. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the SE2 Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. We go. One day by one day. But yes, if you're just now tuning in, I would imagine, Siniso, you've seen SE Evo before, right? StarCraft Evolution is a mod that's been around for a couple of years at this point. We've been covering it since last year, October. We've been casting it on a regular basis when it comes to the Open Cups, when it comes to the show matches as well. So this is a mod that does put together Brood War versus SE2. So we have Brood War Terran against SE2 Zerg. Yeah, it's been really cool. Again, it's been a mod that's been around for far longer than we've been casting it. I think we only started casting it when it did kind of hit the foreign scene, the international scene. Before that, it was of course being worked on and was being utilized amongst the Koreans. I think it got onto everyone's eyes when it came to that big Korean tournament last year, like July, I want to say. What is the mod? StarCraft Evolution. StarCraft Evolution. It has its own competitive scene. It's being actively patched. I would say that right now, the balance might be a little bit in flux for StarCraft Evolution. The reasoning for that is because we just got an SE2 patch, right? We just got a StarCraft 2 patch, and because of that, the SE Evo team, they have to be hard at work to try to figure out like what works, what doesn't, like, and try to rebalance and kind of retune how the races have changed with the latest StarCraft 2 patch, right? Something that, like, a bit of a mantra that the SE Evo team has is that they try not to, and they typically avoid touching anything StarCraft 2 related, so they leave the SE2 races as they are. So this is, you know, vanilla SE2 Zerg for Rogue, and for the most part, vanilla SE2 Terran for ByuN whenever he plays it, for the most part, and they just adjust and balance the Brood War side of things instead. Bearing in mind, this is not a carbon copy of Brood War. Like, as I just mentioned, like, it is actively balanced, or actually actively adjusted and patched to be as balanced as possible against the SE2 races. But, like, the core of it is Brood War, right? Like, the heart of it. For now, though, we're going for our 3x Stim timing. Stim is on the way. We should be seeing a third ranks momentarily. Welcome to White Rabbits. White Rabbit is a TLMC21 map, but this is a very large map, very defensive map as well, known for longer and later games. But ByuN is going for that early Stim timing. I assumed going for a 3 ranks, but he is staying on 2 actually. So less committed here by ByuN. Meanwhile, across the map, Rogue, he does not open gasless. I'm a little bit surprised. Is this the first time? For the first time when playing SE2 Zerg, he does not go gasless. He does go for a hatch gas pool into a third base, into Ling speed. Standard build here by Rogue this time, which means no roaches, and because of the scans, we react with fire bats. Here we go. Fun fact, if ByuN had gone for a standard 3 racks, I think he could have dealt critical damage, but because he second guessed himself, he went for a 2 racks instead, so less Marines, less commitment, less firepower. We'll see what ByuN can get done. As Queens come forward, Spine Crawler's on the way. ByuN's score screen had the Sons of Korhal logo, which made me believe it was Brood War. It's just specifically for the mod. Like the victory screen has been changed. Meanwhile, the army does them in, gets a queen, takes down the Spine Crawler, and every queen is going to go down. Firebat does shut down the Lings, and again, Rogue, he's punished for going for a standard opener this time. Really good reaction by ByuN to spot, to scan, to confirm that there are no roaches, to reinforce with the Firebats, and to break through. To break through, to overwhelm. It's going to be 7 drones falling. This is already critical damage. ByuN is going to be cleaned up, but he does cripple the economy here of Rogue, and behind it has a greater economy himself. Let's go. But yes, for the victory screen, it is, I think it always shows the Brood War logo. Like, regardless of which race wins. Oh, okay. I mean, I assumed it was, I assumed it was on purpose, but Akvez is confirming that it was a bug. Gracias. As Rogue, he does punish. Marines are going down. Back at home, there's only 2 Marines to defend. It'll be enough there. Yeah, it will be enough. The boys are pulled. Does pull the boys, does defend. Building up, getting to his own biotank, and Rogue is redroning. Redroning, resaturating. Rogue, he has a lot of drone to do here. Again, fun fact, the first time he plays standard, he gets punished for it. Aye. I mean, in my mind, I do think that roach-based openers are the way to play in ZvT from the SE2 side of things, in SE Evolution. It's just much safer. But Rogue, he's experimenting. ByuN does move out. Queens do rotate. We have 5 queens. We have a handful of links to defend. ByuN sims in. Gets another queen. And ByuN, he will be cleaned up. Again, just barely doesn't have enough. Just trades with the army. Gets a queen. Pulls away. ByuN does overextend. And interesting, ByuN does go for the forward base. Okay. I would say that the fringe bases are more secure here. So Rogue taking the forward base is much more aggressive. Taking a much more aggressive stance. Setting up in the center. I mean, there's a lot of terrain here that does favor a defensive setup, thanks to the ravines, thanks to the terrain itself. A lot of tank spots. We'll see how Rogue does adjust. So I'm asking, what's the format of the evolution tournaments? Do players alternate between races in their best of matches? As is being stated in the chat, the majority of SC Evo tournaments, not all of them, but the majority of them, it is loser's pick. So whoever loses a game, they get to pick if they want to play SC2 or Brood War. So the majority is loser's pick. There are some that are preset. So some of the Kung Fu Cup tournaments, it was like game 1, player A plays SC2. Game 2, player B plays SC2, right? Like they have a format which is, you know, more strict, where they have to alternate. But yeah, different tournaments, different formats. Oh, good. As ByuN is securing his third base, here we go. Radiate is on the way this time. If you remember previously on Andromeda, he did forget a Radiate. He had these science vessels, but they couldn't really do anything. This time a Radiate is on the way. Likewise, Rogue getting into Microbial Shroud for the first time this series. Let's go. It went all the way to game 9, the ace match, but we have Microbial Shroud on the way. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I mean, thinking about how Microbial Shroud works and thinking about how Irradiate works, I do think that Ling Bane, like Ling Bane's Spire tech into Corruptor, is going to be amazing here, right? With Microbial Shroud to support. I'm specifically referring to the fact that there's no clear target for Irradiates with Ling Bane, outside of irradiating your own units, your own science vessels. And with Microbial Shroud supports, I mean, we'll see. We shall see. As again, ByuN, he's secure at the center base. We'll see. Speaking of targets, we're going for the Infestors. First Irradiate does land. Infestor does land the Fungal. Oh no! Don't clump up. Oh no! Jeez. Oh no! No, the road, calm down! Ay, ay, ay. Por favor. Este Rogue. As Rogue is taking a bit of Ultras. Ultra Tech is on the way. We'll see how our armies engage. He's down to 2 Infestors. I'm not too convinced by only having 2, but the army gets caught out. Remember, there are no medevacs, no dropships. It is one way, and the Marines are cleaned up. Nice defense by Rogue. At the same time, ByuN pushing in. Does have his tank line behind this. Oh my god, we're going into a mech transition. Okay. Okay. Switching into Mass Factory into Mass Vulture Tank. Interesting. Spider-Mine is being researched. This is new. This I wasn't expecting. And ByuN is going to try to slow this down. As he's turtling up back at home, finishing up Ion Thrusters. And Rogue just ignores the main army, goes across the map. Can he break that siege line? With Microbial Shot, he could. He's making his way in, getting on top of the tanks. Barely say Dukin. Oh my god, massive connections. Yeah, ByuN is late to pull away. SCVs are falling, and the center base is broken. Losing every single SCV. Yeah, 20 plus workers going down. Army races back home, and Rogue has found an opening. He found the opening. Again, science vessels are out of position. No irradiates. Railings, they roll in. Oh, let's go, the Microbial Shroud. The tanks. The ultras, they pop up. They get on top of the tanks. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Speaking of, the final tank may just go down here. Oof. And Rogue is looking very comfortable. He broke the center base. Behind this, Rogue, he's on 77 workers, on just under 4 base saturation. Massing up more Ling Ultra. There's no support. More tanks are going down. Brutal damage here. Only trading out Lings. Only Zerglings. And again, it was just a very awkward transition here into mech. The big issue here with this switch into Vulture tank is that usually you have a field of spider mines set up from the early game. But here, despite researching, there's no mines set up, just now throwing them down. But also makes the Vulture transition that much weaker. Yeah, so the position is broken. And everything just catch fire. Rogue, he just snowballs out of control. Cripples the economy. Rogue is on 91 workers. So Rogue does pull away. Pulls away. And again, it was a really interesting style here by ByuN to try to switch into mech. It's a little bit awkward, like a little bit of resources invested into the bio upgrades as well. Didn't quite get there. Not quite. I appreciate it though. Appreciate it. As here, ByuN is much better set up with his spider mines, but despite that, the ultras, they rush in. We get a couple of irradiates. Tanks will still full. Where are the Lings? Yeah, no Ling supports. So Rogue being a little bit wasteful here, but he still does trade against the tanks. Still fine. Still trades. Rogue is remaxing. And it's going to be a long road to recover here for ByuN. Once again, he's a little bit reliant on ByuN, on Rogue overextending. There's no anti-air, true. The Corruptors, yeah, GG gets called. 0 anti-air. Corruptors will show up just to kill the Science Vessels for free. And Rogue will take the series 5-4, claiming the ShowMatch and taking down ByuN. GG. GG, well played, Rogue. He will win this month's Enki Epic Pro Series number 6. Congratulations here to Rogue. We did have an intense back and forth, went all the way to the ace match of this best of 9. Some of the games, I will say, it felt like it was clear that our players are a little bit less versed with StarCraft Evolution when it comes to Rogue, when it comes to ByuN as well. Referring to the games when ByuN, for example, went for his own like stim timing but forgot his academy, so he had late stim. I'm talking about Andromeda, of course. Talking about the game that we had on Vermeer with Rogue going to 2-base Muta, unfortunately against a 2-on-1, which is also very, very bold. So yeah, it was a little bit rough around the edges. I would say that the game of the series for me was Sylphid. Like, I loved the game on Sylphid. Sylphid was everything that I want out of StarCraft Evolution, which was like late game ZvT, like tank lines, ultra unbuys, ultra drops, Ling drops into the base, Nidus roams all over the place. Like, Sylphid was beautiful. Like that was a beautiful game. I feel like we peaked early. like Sylphid was, if you tuned in a little bit late, I highly recommend tuning into the early parts of the series. Like, Sylphid was the game for me. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cover Arkanoid, unfortunately. But for some of the other games, like, they did end up a little bit sooner. They ended a little bit more abruptly, just because of the maps, just because of the builds. And GG. GG, well played. But yeah, Sylphid was the map for the series. It was crazy. He's been improving pretty quickly. He has been improving quite quickly, for sure. I would agree with that. Rogue, he's one of the newer faces to the SE Evolution scene. One of the newer faces. and was able to hold his own against ByuN. Very impressive, very impressive. And of course, if you want to tune in to some more StarCraft Evolution, check out our YouTube, !YouTube in the chat. So there's a lot of VODs on YouTube regarding StarCraft Evolution, a lot of VODs, a lot of content. When it comes to the next season of SE Evo, I believe it's on the horizon. It might be beginning like in December, maybe January, but new season is on the horizon for more StarCraft Evolution content. I imagine they're working on a new patch as well. There's a patch on the way just to address some of the changes to the game, of course, with the changes to Storm, changes to Ghost, changes to the Microbial Shroud, of course. Like, a lot of changes were made to StarCraft 2, and of course SE Evo has to try to accommodate for that and has to try to approach that in their own way. It's not easy at all. Best of luck, best of luck. When it comes to this series, I don't think the series actually showcased much of that, to be honest. I mean, ZvT did change the least in regards to the latest patch, so it makes sense. Like in base StarCraft 2, it's mainly kind of like the Protoss changes, the changes to Storm, of course, which do impact things quite a bit. I will say that Microbial Shroud probably has some potential against Protoss. Going into Microbial Shroud into Ultra also has a lot of potential. We've seen that a lot in the current ladder in SE2, in StarCraft 2 ZvP, so we could be seeing that in a Brood War as well, also reflected. Hard to say, we didn't get to cover that matchup, but that also might be something to be concerning, is like the strength of Microbial Shroud against Brood War Protoss. But that's on the SE Evo team to have a look at, to confirm. Otherwise, GG. Otherwise, GG will play. Congratulations here to Rogue. Congratulations. And we are going to be heading towards a short break. Going to be going on a short break here. We're going to be going on a break because this is only one of two show matches. We have another show match right around the corner. Up next, we're going to be going for a best of 7 show match between Raynor and Hero for the League Cup at number 47. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. This will be not in StarCraft Evolution, but in StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 show match, Raynor versus Hero, best of 7. Let's go. We'll see you soon after the break. Also, before we head off, a big shout out to Enki. Big shout out to Enki. Enki, of course, is one of our own. He's one of the CranKy Ducklings as well. He's been running these events on a monthly basis. He himself has also been enjoying a lot of StarCraft Evolution, and really cool to see these players face off. Do I have any suggestions for the Enki Epic Pro Series? Has he done one with, I think, did he do one with Creator? I think he did, right? Enki. Let's see, the Enki Epic Series. One moment. He did one with Creator. Has he done one with Solar? I know that Solar's also been playing a lot of StarCraft Evolution recently. Let's see. He did not do one with Creator. Like, Creator's the other player that was looking really impressive. So I would want, personally, I would want to see some of these Enki show matches with Creator, with Solar as well, right? With some of these like quote unquote newer players that have been embracing a lot of SE Evo recently. So that's I'm thinking of Solar, I'm thinking of Creator, and I'm thinking of Cure, right? Cure's the other one that was also playing a lot of SE Evo and was doing quite well. So those are the three that I would hope to see featured at some point in these Pro Series or in these Epic Series. Would hope so. Thank you so much for the raid last night. Oh, it's the shoe shiner. It's all good, Pappy. It's all good. Always happy to spread the love, Pappy. Always happy. Hope one day we can get you in there and play a few games at a future fight night. Oh, true. I'm very out of practice right now. I'm very out of practice. I might ladder later on tonight, but I'm very out of practice. Very, very rusty. When was the last time I laddered? Let's have a look. It's been 26 days. 26 days and like 3 months before that as well. Like I have not been playing a lot of StarCraft. I just haven't had the time, unfortunately. I haven't had the time. But I should have some time tonight to ladder. But yeah, very out of practice. We'll get back into it. It's all good, it's all good. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. We just wrapped up with our first show match of the broadcast. We're going to be going on a bit of an extended break, and when we come back, we will have our next show match. We'll have that best of 7 between Raynor and Hero. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon, Pat. See you soon.